It's a very condensed definition, and it's one that if you really distill it down to the most basic things is most commonly accepted by psychologists, and it's the production of something novel and useful. On a personal level, you do new things every day. So you can't help but do novel acts. And so you use your words in different ways. You have new instances that you react to, circumstances and things like that. With society, you might do something or create something that you think is new to society. Like I remember a long time ago when I was teaching high school, a student of mine came in, he was an art student, he came in and told me that he just discovered something in mathematics, and it was factoring, and he showed it to me. And I said, well, go talk to your math teacher about this and see if this is new to the world, because he really thought it was. It was new to him, but it wasn't new to society because factoring's been around for a long time. So sometimes you don't understand the sense of novelty until later. And really what it comes down to is the field decides that, So my field, which is art and design, is comprised of a lot of people like gallery owners, people who teach art, people who buy and sell art, stuff like that, design firms and all that. And when they come together and decide something as novel, hasn't been done before, that's kind of the scale. But it's kind of a floating scale. It's hard to get one kind of hard, fast kind of way of saying exactly how novel something is, but it comes from research, really, is what it comes from. If something's useful, it essentially solves a problem. The problem isn't always well defined. And so basically, then you have to reframe the problem again. And determining whether something's useful or not really comes from how you determine the problem. It might not, so if you're going down a product line and you're designing some kind of widget to solve lighting in maybe remote areas in some kind of village or something like that that doesn't have electricity, if you come across something that solves another problem that doesn't solve this problem, it doesn't mean that wasn't useful, it's just useful for something else. And that's why we teach students to keep an open mind, take risk, and then always redefine our problems. Because sometimes we don't even know what our real problem is. We can have clients come in and say, our company is not doing well, we're not selling a lot of this. And what it really is they're not asking the right problem. And so if you solve the problem they're asking about, then you're not helping them, it's not useful. So we redefine the problem first, and then try to come up with something more functional. And you can actually chart this out. And what we do with a lot of projects is we decide we want to increase their sense of novelty or usefulness. And so you can kind of get a chart where it goes novelty up this way, usefulness this way. And ultimately you want to get it way out to the corner there. Creativity is about creating ideas and acting on ideas. And so it can definitely be trained. And I've been doing it for years. And it's amazing how successful you can be at it if you just practice. The real thing that you have to understand is creativity is work, and you get better at doing things like that by practicing what you're doing. So we have to practice generating more ideas on a regular basis. So say if I ask students, give me some ideas on this, and normally what a student will do is give you like 3 or 4 ideas, and maybe 1 or 2 that they really mean. So instead of doing that, what we do is we make them come up with 100 ideas on everything. And so just by sheer force, we're better at coming up with ideas. Then once that we have these ideas, then we start to work on decision making, categorizing ideas and seeing which ones work towards problems better. And then you start using this traditional type of logic to distill down what the best solution might be. Then we engage risk-taking with prototyping and generating more ideas off these other ideas that we've had before. Once we start prototyping, then we refine our ideas. And then in the final step, what we do is we turn back around, understand what we're doing, and then we understand how to communicate that more effectively to people. Because, how I talked about solving a problem, you can't really solve someone's problem if you don't communicate what your solution is very well. So a big part of it is public speaking, being persuasive, and articulate in the end. We found that that's just as much of a factor as the ideas are. It's kind of funny how it all comes together like that. So yes, we can teach it, and I can teach it to almost anybody. We've been doing it for years.